more than him when we went fishing.
I don't care who catches the most as long as we're all eating them at the end of the day. I don't care. I'll eat your fish in a minute.
Dude, you see that? I was like, I'm on.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you're at. When you feel that, it's like,
oh.
you had me right there. Dang it.
Are you live, Vincent?
I'm live. I don't mess around.
Watch out for the camera.
I start live like right away.
Watch me crash this.
Like,
what's up, baby?
Chug.
How strong is this? So strong. Something to stand on.
I can't see no one.
This is
You gotta go in the front.
This is
When
perfect.
you guys go in the front, go ahead.
'Cause usually we're standing on some rocks,
Yeah.
and from
Man.
the rocks, this is. Usually you have to go like this.
Let me tell you this time.
This is how you're fishing. Like,
I went to this dude's
pocket fishing.
pad, and we went fishing
Like
off
this.
a cliff, and I fell off the cliff.
He's not very buoyant out of water. Also,
Our water's fine, yeah. Anyways,
No.
we had us shimmying down rock piles with a rope, commando style.
it was like Kevin.
Remember?
No,
And I just
He's
jumped.
like,
I just fell, yeah. Ah, boom, hit the side of the mountain, hit the other side, boom.
You're on live right now.
That's right. Kevin Brannon with the Real Anglers Fishing Show. In today's episode, guess where we're at? It's like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate
You
Factory.
really happy
We're
to
at
pull that.
Fishing Syndicate.
It took
I
a
was like, you
picture.
see me?
It
Oh,
is.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like,
It's off.
is there enough
Wish I was on the water
Yeah,
now.
turn the
Like,
camera.
Yeah, it shuts down. It has a battery. Way to conserve the battery. We're not
Okay,
filming.
now, guys, no, you're good. You're good.
So that we're not using that one.
Oh man.
Yeah, but it's to stop the
Like
the
that, bro?
battery so it doesn't kill the battery when
badass.
we're not filming.
Oh.
That's
All
a
right,
little
so
shut-off
guys,
switch.
we're gonna be filming,
3, 2.
so we need you guys to stay quiet.
Right on the
You
set.
can say, ah. You could go, yeah. Whatever he tells you to do. All right.
Right on the set.
You guys want to sit down? Would it be better to sit down?
Yes. I can help you. Let's go get
Get yours. Get yours. Take it.
So, am I filming both you guys talking together?
I mean, we're gonna be going back and forth.
All right, so we're gonna go raw
Whatever
with the
you-
camera.
yeah.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna do stuff by
Yeah,
yourself,
both of us.
yeah. But if you're gonna do you by yourself, I was gonna put these mics on you. But if you're gonna be together,
Back there. Here you go, take one.
But I can't see anything.
Sure you can.
Oh man, I want to try that thing on the boat too.
yeah, you might want to cut the fan.
Yeah. No, I am.
Or go lower.
We got a freaking live studio audience right here in the
There you
freaking
go.
Arsenio Hall show. Woo, 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 woo,
All
woo.
right, so I'm
Might want to sound like a little bit. I don't know if you want man butt in your face. Just telling you, little man butt.
Yeah, that's
All
fine.
right.
That works too. I'll take that. What's that?
Here we go.
That's not Dos Equis. It's
It's
Dos
Dos
Equis.
Equis.
Oh, I
This
thought
is Dos Equis' house.
joking, man. Look at you.
All right.
My brother can't read, homie. He don't know Roman numerals.
Stupid.
We're live, by the way.
Oh, live. Live.
So, all right, everybody, back again. As I promised.
Hold on.
we're
You
a
want me to
little-
record this? Hold on.
Go ahead. We're a little late. We're having some tacos, some lunch. Who else is live? Is that you, Vince?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
live.
there we go. So
Hold on, I'll go live too.
we got 2 live feeds, maybe
2 live
3
crew.
going here, and then we're gonna be filming. So, try this real quick. This guy's about 6 inches taller than me. How tall are you, Vince?
6'2",
6'2". All right, so you got me at least on 4 or 5 inches.
6'5" when I go up on this pad.
There you go. Right.
I need this
So-
on my helm right here.
I'm a Mexican 5'10", whatever that could be. So, all right, here we go. So, as promised earlier, we got Vince from Jurassic Sport Fishing. So, Vince and I have been working on something that he does very specific to the Northern California kind of area, from as far as South Santa Barbara all the way up to Monterey. Right, he's gonna talk to us a little bit about it. What this rod requires, besides what he does in the ocean, he fishes the Channel Islands quite a bit on his boat. Again, let me try again your camera as well.
No, you're good.
So Jurassic Sport Fishing, look him up. So this type of fishery, you need to have certain areas where you gotta have permits to get in. You're a first responder.
Yeah, firefighter.
Okay, firefighter. So tell us a little more about yourself, about Jurassic Park, and then we'll get into this right in a minute.
Yeah, you got it, man. I'm Vince Culliver. Like you said, we have a club called Jurassic Sport Fishing. We got firefighters, first responders, a lot of military, and a lot of the fishing we do is based out of Lompoc, but we've got guys that fish from Lompoc to Monterey to Oregon to Washington to Alaska. We got quite a few guys out in Alaska that fish to down here. We got a couple guys. So kind of like keep it broad all the way to actually Florida. So what we do is we do a lot of pocket fishing. We've done a lot of kayak fishing, skiff fishing, boat fishing. We got guys that are big time lake fishermen. But a lot of the fun that we do is what we call pocket fishing. And we did it on Inside Sport Fishing with Michael Folks. He actually aired it, a national segment. And it was really popular because we try to show people you don't need a whole lot of money and you don't need a whole lot of ends to go out and fish. And even with Kevin Brannon, we showed that when he did a show with us and almost died falling off a cliff. And he can attest to that later on, which I'm sure he will. So we needed a rod that was built specifically for what we do for pocket fishing, and you're tide pool fishing. Call it pocket fishing just to have a catchy name, and it works for what we're doing. In our area, we have 40 miles of coastline at Vandenberg Air Force Base where it's not like a whole lot of other places, and it's hard. I get emails all the time. Where are you doing this at? Where can I do it at? And you just can't go everywhere to do it. So I've heard from Big Sur, Monterey, San Francisco, even the guy Fisherman's Life, big time fisherman. He does a lot of videos. He's got a lot of followers. He's been doing some pocket fishing stuff, but we have it, man. We have like the opportunity to go. It's only a 10-minute drive. So what we asked Oliver was like, hey man, we need like a rod specific for that because we have so many people doing it, and that a long rod is just not going to work. So
right, and I've seen the videos. I mean, that's pretty exciting. If you got injuries, you may not want to go try this. I'm very tempted, but I don't know.
Oh, you're going
with a bad back. I don't know. Unless I'm wearing some snow boots or something with hiking snow boots, with spikes and something, so I dig into the rock. But anyways, what he asked for was something about 5 feet long. Of course, he could have just gone and get the Ed makes that rod, the Whopper stopper, but he wanted something different, something with a lot of action, but something that he could pull hard. If you haven't seen this, go to his page or Google it, Pocket Fishing with Jurassic Sport Fishing. Sorry, my kids love Jurassic Park, so it's like part of my vocabulary. And so spray, a lot of fun. Plastics, put it in that tide pool and get ready. I've seen some big fish get pulled out. We got some kids here also. They're gonna help us pull on this. So set the drag on that the way you guys typically fish for that, right? And then if you take a
keep
step
the drag
back,
tight because it's all sight fishing. You're gonna see the fish.
whether
You're gonna see
right?
it. It's gonna come out to your plastic, whatever you're using. It's gonna hit it. It's gonna go back in the water. You just
I
gotta.
think you want to take one more
lift
step
the
that
tip.
way. There we go, right there. So let's put a little bend on that rod here, and I'm not wearing a glove, so go easy on me.
Go easy on me.
Go ahead.
Up here too.
You see it?
Now, he hadn't pulled on this. This is the first time pulling on it.
Yeah.
We pulled on the rod without the line, but this is the first time we haven't pulled on them. I haven't even pulled it on myself. I, put the reel on there in line before they got here. So I wanted to make sure that, you see that action. You're going to have that, go ahead and again, Vince, you're going to have that action for that head shake on that fish. But then when that fish tries to rock, you go ahead, Vince. See that shot off? It's going to pull that stuff out of there. And if you think he wasn't pulling hard, my hand is shaking. Almost got a little bit of a cut there, And so,
and what's cool is we're only fishing a foot of water, so it's a quick grab. But what's cool is you've made it so short that we can fish right underneath us. So that's the key. But that backbone feels really good.
And that's at 5.5. I'm going this camera first. You see that?
A little bit higher.
I'll show the guys here on Facebook Live. So it's a glass rod, 5.6, light, 1530. Jurassic Sport Fishing, baby.
Yeah, and that's that special touch on there. That's freaking
You got the
sweet,
logo on
man.
Now
Yeah.
this is only one of many, one of a few rods. Now we're gonna ask.
He doesn't realize how many he's gonna have to keep pumping out now.
So now we're gonna ask Colin to come and help us. Come on, Colin. Introduce yourself, kiddo. Say, my name is Colin Hicks.
My name is Colin Hicks.
There you go. And one day I'm going to be a YouTuber.
You already are, look.
All right, Colin, so wind that down a little bit. Colin fishes. He's one of my best friend's kids.
Let me lower this one right here a little bit.
Colin has got experience already. How old are you, Colin?
7.
7. He's got experience at fishing the half-day boats here locally. There we go. Half-day boats locally. He's also fishes off the beach. Anywhere he finds water. Golf courses, Dad, when he can. But also he's been down to Puerto Vallarta, down in Baja, and it's got some nice jacks off the beach. We actually have that on video. All right, Colin?
Can I go with you next time?
How does that feel, buddy? Huh? Is this gonna be a good ride for you to go fish locally? Huh? Pull on it. Nice. Why are you turning red? Breathe. Good job, kiddo.
Nice.
So, well, again, Vince hadn't seen this. It was a total surprise. We
Yeah,
talked
that's awesome.
about it, but he hadn't seen it. And I everybody knows, I like honesty. When we first met with Sergio Feinstein from Angler Chronicles, that's one of the things I told him. I said, I just want you to take the rods, test them out, let me know what you think. Don't sugarcoat it. I don't need anyone tickling my ears. I'm doing this for fun, for the future, retirement, and so I want to make sure that I get honest opinions from people. And so I'm not thinking this. Tony McLaurin is not on right now because he's out on the Tomahawk in a day and a half, but he and I have been working on the FS Legacy rod we're going to be making for kids. We're going to basically sell it at cost. We just want kids to have that rod in their hands. So I may just decide to go with this for kids because, it's going to be a multi-purpose rod.
That
so
would
why
work
not?
good on the boat, too.
I mean, honestly.
Like if
we
could put this on a boat. I could put this in my kids' hands. I mean, I would use this on the boat. What's nice is you don't have where we're fishing at, we do a lot of shallow water fishing for rockfish off the boat. So
you fish for rockfish up in Santa Barbara.
Yeah, so we're
Channel
actually a lot of our rockfish is done off of Vandenberg. So when we're up there, you're in 30 feet of water to 100, and they're under the boat. We're big reds. I'm talking big Johnnies, big. And
I mean, you get lingcod in that shallow.
Big lingcod.
So, Stephen Phelps, if you're back on, this is why I don't rock fish locally. You want to go rock fishing, we go north, right? Where we're fishing with bass rods, And so, next, we're going to keep going. We appreciate anyone staying. You guys got to go, we understand, but there's a lot of stuff that we've been working on, and this was specific to what they do up north. Vince, requested this. We're working on a whole bunch of other projects. The guys from Marla's down in Puerto Vallarta are asking us for a specific route that they want to use for the inshore fishing. We're working on that as well. We talked about this, maybe 2 months ago, give or take?
Yeah, we first started talking about it at the last Fred Hall show.
That's
which
right.
is the last
year.
Last year, yeah.
Yeah, so that was last year. But recently we picked up the conversation. Okay, now we're ready to start building this stuff. I'm pretty much done developing the stuff that I want to build under the FS brand. And then we're just going to be working with guys that, have specific needs for specific fisheries. We want to hear about it, see what we come up with, and, hopefully we hit one out of the park. And so whether we hit it out of the park or not, we'll hear about it
we'll let you know
as you use them, right? And again, this might become the FS Legacy rod for the kids. 5'6", 1530, super light.
Super light, man.
So that's that. Now, the other thing... Sorry to be turning my back, guys. I guess turn the other way. So the other thing that I have been working on is on creating a composite inshore rod. Personally, my inshore rod has to be full graphite. That's my personal choice. John, if you're out there listening, and I'll be seeing you in the next hour, you understand me. I need something fast. Set that hook and get that bass out of the structure, whether it's a kelp, whether it's fishing sand bass, right? Not the perfect rod that you would want fishing the islands. You hook onto a 20-pound yellowtail, because then there's no muscle in that rod. It's all graphite, which translates into stiff bone, And now you got to put in the muscle. It's going to start pulling on your muscles, and you got to fight that. I loved it when I was younger. I landed a 40-pound yellowtail when Tommy Lee used to run the Freedom 20 pontes on a 1530 light, full graphite bass rod. Is it true? We put it on the scale. Do I have pictures? I never took pictures of my fish before. You know, I don't do it to be known. I do it for the sport. I do it for the love of it. So, but Tommy remembers that fish took me around the boat twice, almost an hour. I mean, my arms were ready to fall off. And when we got that fish to the boat, I mean, we just couldn't believe the size of that thing. You know, and obviously, you know, it's a nice memory. No photos, because I never cared for photos. And most of you guys know I don't even care for photos now or being here, but business is business, I guess, right? So people start asking for a composite rod. Now, there's going to be a lot of places where this rod is used. Talking to the guys up north, San Francisco, Monterey, fishing for like the halibut, the striper, the salmon. They want something that's slower action. Typically up north, they use a lot of the glass rods. I had a commitment not to build glass rods for this company, but it's called supply and demand, right? People are demanding a glass rod, and so I went. I met people down the middle for now, which is, you know, doing a composite rod. There's a lot of guys fishing Baja as well. We have a couple of captains that run boats down there in Cedros, Manzanillo, and then we have a couple of boats in Ensenada. And then there's the guys who fish in Ensenada. If you haven't done this is pretty amazing. They have a place called Campo Siete, which is camp number 7. It's right below Ensenada going towards the blowhole. They catch yellowtail off the rocks.
That's awesome.
I mean, that is freaking awesome. You know, these guys are using bass rods, you know? So,
nice.
Bucket list at this point, right? Because I never thought I'd do it, but now it's like, okay.
I got it written down now.
I hear, though, it's an hour climb, to get down there. And so I'm waiting for someone to build a way to get me down there.
A little
quicker, a little elevator or something, you know, build a little road, you know, you take a bike down or something. So yeah, it's quite a hike, but they get nice yellows,
Nice.
off the rocks down there. And it's basically the same area that when you fish out of Ensenada and you get on the sports boats, they run towards the south point of the island. The island is called, I believe it's Todos Santos, All Saints. Towards the south of it, there's a place called Punta Banda, which is the banding point, whatever that might mean, you know, for them down there. But there's an area called their camp number 7, Campo Siete, and they're catching yellowtail. So I already have these rods on there. You guys are already using them.
Wow.
So when you and I started talking about, hey, I need something light, I need something that's not so freaking stiff,
Yeah.
I need something that, you know, I can fish all day, I'm fishing shallow, I mean, that's my kind of game, right? But my concern with putting it on a private boat or a smaller boat is graphite and smaller boats don't get along.
Tink.
Right, Matame Fish, Ed, we've seen that. You know, what happens in a small boat is rods are bouncing around, whether you like it or not, they drop. When you're in the big party boats and you spend $3 to $5 on a rod, you're gonna make sure that it goes in the rod holder. You gotta be careful with that rod.
Like this.
And boy, when you find that someone dropped your rod, you lose your mind. I know I do. I was like, dude, well, careful, you know? I mean, it cost you $500. So we wanted to build something that's less expensive, but that still provides what you need, which is that whippy tip, right? Once again, guys, as earlier, the action, but yet has the power. So this is the 710 composite 15 to 30, okay? It is a thin diameter rod. Bring this for everyone to see. And I'll bring that to you right now, Kevin. All right. So, 1530. We got a 14-inch rear grip plus a butt cap, 5-inch foregrip, trigger handle, size 300 bait caster, reel of your choice. Alps guides. Shout out to Bill Batson, great product on the Alps. Some people complain that the guides fall off. Well, tell you what, use a short leader. You'll see how the guides don't fall off or the inserts don't fall off. I've never had any issues with that. I get a lot of complaints. If you put a long top shot and you're putting then through those guides, guess what's gonna happen? You know, so short top shot, that's all you need nowadays, you know. So these are not your typical boat guides. They have that insert. That insert is actually necessary for the Spectra. Spectra and boat guides don't quite get along. That friction that the Spectra puts on the boat guides is no bueno. So you want to use these Alps inserts if you like Fuji, I understand, or anything else. So again, this is a 710. We're having to stay below 8 foot now for shipping purposes, right? It used to be that for tournaments they wanted stuff no longer than 711. So now for shipping purposes we gotta stay a little lower. I'm still gonna build a lot of these at 8 foot, but we're gonna have them available at 710. So 1530, it's a composite. This rod was being tested by Rick Fuentes and Matame Fish, Catalina. They got a nice size yellow. We got a video of that on the light. He was using 30-pound Spectra. I put 40 on this one. So let's see, Vince, take another step back, all the way back, and let's try to get this. Wind me down, brother. And go ahead and pull. How's
Like a
that?
fish.
I mean, I'm pulling hard.
I like that.
I mean, this yellowtail pulling on you
You
now,
make me
right?
want to go fishing right now.
Now, do me a favor, wind me up a little bit, right there, pull up again. Don't move. Whatever you do, don't move. Now, you should never do this to a rod. I always talk about high sticking, but look at this right here. You guys see that?
Yeah, a lot of guys bring it over the deck like that.
Now, we are on Facebook Live. I am running the risk of this snapping, but I've already been testing them. That glass is so flexible, okay? Again, don't do that, especially to graphite. But we had to do this to this rod because we are seeing a lot of people that are still learning how to fish. We're hoping that these type of videos actually help people learn how to fish properly. So don't do this to a rod because this is how rods break. But this rod is actually, it's got that little bit of a defense. Go ahead and put on the load one more time and wind me up. Go ahead and pull. I'm making you tiptoe, huh?
Yeah,
Once again,
that's good.
pulling really, really hard. Look at that, man. I better get in there. So 1530, be able to fish that with leadhead and squid for, you know, local bass, the islands, you know, fish it up at Santa Barbara, the Channel Islands for shallow water rockfish, which is one of the things I love to do. You know, I'm not a salmon expert. I don't know if that's, you know, too fast for salmon.
We'll
but
see.
We'll find out.
We're gonna
right?
run it. We're gonna run it.
We're gonna go
We're
try
gonna-
it.
We're gonna try it.
All right, so then that's the light.
Usually doesn't break in the boat.
Low ceilings. This is a medium. So what we do with the medium, 2040, same guides, same rear grip, same reel seat, just a longer foregrip. We went 10 inches plus the 2 inches you get on the reel seat. The reason for that is when you're fishing a medium and you either top shot it with 30 or 40 for abrasion purposes, guess what? Now you can use a rail. As we said earlier, do not put that graphite on that rail because you're gonna bruise it. Once you bruise it, you're gonna damage it. You're gonna jeopardize the fibers. And when you do that, at one point or another, that rod will break. As I was talking with my good friend Ryan Bailey earlier, you know, less than 2% of manufactured rods have an issue. So why is there breakage? Well, when rods break 12 to 18 inches from the top, it's because people were high sticking. All right, they were pulling it above the 45-degree angle. That rod up there, this is the weakest part. It's the action, right? This is what you use for casting. This is not where the power is. So it's rated 20 to 40. This is where the power is. There's a reason why the reel sits down here and not on the top, right? So when you are holding it, you're gonna put pressure on that fish using this back here. Just like your arms, right? We use our fingers to do the little things, cutting, feeding ourselves, right? But if you're gonna lift 100 pounds, you don't use your fingers, right? So what do you do if you're gonna lift 100 pounds? Use both arms, bring your shoulder to carry it, right? So the upper part of our arm is where the muscles are. This is where our strength is. This is what we use to do the fine little things. Well, that's what that tip is. That tip is our fingertips, right? This right here is the action. Back here is the power. It's physics, very simple. So, whether you're gonna be fishing a jig, whether you're gonna be fishing dropper loop, whether you're gonna be fishing a plastic and lead in a plastic, lead in a squid. So let's take another step back, Vince, just so we get in the camera here. Here we go. And wind me up a little bit. All right, so whenever you're ready, go ahead and start putting in under load. How's that?
Good.
I mean, you guys see that? I am pulling hard, dude.
Yeah.
You're shaking up there.
Yeah, my arm's shaking.
So, once again, hold it. Don't move from there. I got it?
Good.
We got this action again with that glass. Something you shouldn't do, but just in case you have a little mistake, we put a little safeguard in there. Straight glass,
I like that.
so that when you take your nephew, you take someone who's never fished, they happen to go about the 45-degree angle, hopefully that's enough. Will it break? Absolutely. If you do what one guy did, which was to lift the rod vertically, well, he had a calico on there with a freshwater rod rated 6 to 12. Well, guess what's gonna happen, right? Physics. It's going to break, right? Kevin, you lift weights. What happens? I mean, I don't lift weights anymore. You know, what would happen to my shoulder if I try to lift 200 pounds?
Not good.
Not good, right? Yeah. Else I'd be walking around like this, right? You know, something's gonna dislocate. You know, and so that's exactly what happens with rods. Something dislocates, which is when the fibers, you know, are compromised, right? And when something dislocates, in this case, the fibers are compromised. Guess what follows? Snap, breakage. You know, that's just the way it goes. It's like everything else. The comparison that Rick Fuentes does. You cannot take a Lamborghini off-roading. You just can't. You can't take it to a race car.
Well, you can't.
Well, you can, but you shouldn't. Right?
Everything has a consequence.
But you could take it to a racetrack and do 200 miles an hour. You shouldn't, but you could.
Yeah.
Now you take a, you know, F-150 or any other truck.
Yeah.
You take that to the racetrack, and that's not a good idea. But you go off-roading all day long, right?
Right.
So that's the way rods are supposed to be used. Rods are a tool, and some people forget that. They think the rods are like something I'll never break.
Well,
They're
it's
like
like
whatever.
people
They
that don't
toss
know-
them, you know.
It's like people that don't know how to use a hammer. Choked up versus down here. They don't know that there's a mechanical advantage in the hammer. You know.
And that applies to everything in life, right? You know, at the end of the day. So, we got your logo on there as well.
Yeah, that's pretty badass.
So, Vince, you know, he's not going to be prototyping these. We already prototyped them, but he's going to be using them up north to see how they work for the fishery that they have, Santa Barbara and northern than that. I feel pretty confident. I fished, you know, all the way up there. And, you know, what I like about the fishery up there is the rockfish, shallow, 60, 80 feet.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about 30 feet deep.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Go shallow.
I'll just go, you know, I'll just go snorkeling at that point. Go spear fishing, you know.
You know, there's days you can see. You got
I mean, yeah.
40-foot viz, and
Wow, yeah.
you see what you're catching.
And then I love the salmon fishing up there.
Yeah.
You know. Now you don't quite get out to the albacore unless they get close to you.
We're going to do that. We got a guy up north. His name's Manny. He's a firefighter up north, and he just bought a 2820 from down here. So
Oh, nice.
He's always extended it. So I'm gonna go, whoa. And there goes my life. So you know, we're definitely gonna, when we go up there, we'll bring these, because he said leave my boat, come on up. So if I go albacore fishing, I'm gonna text you beforehand.
That light
and
is
let you
gonna,
know.
that light is gonna handle the albacore like a champ.
So
You know.
you suggest the light, not the
Oh
medium.
yeah.
Okay.
You know, especially if you are you guys gonna be mooching? You're gonna be lightly
They
fishing.
they troll,
for
How's that?
and then as soon as they troll and they get them, yeah, it's good.
A little more this way.
Yeah.
Little more. There you go.
As soon as they're trolling and they get them, then they stop, and then it's kind of like yellowtail, you know. Then they start really getting on them. So the last time
Okay.
I actually caught albacore was up in Seattle, and
Right.
we were trolling. As soon as we stopped,
Yeah.
he started throwing out baits to
Yeah.
see if there was more, but we only got one.
I mean, we haven't seen albacore down here in, you know, a couple of decades now. You know, so
we got the other albacore.
yeah. Well, you know, I think it's you know, a lot of us old time anglers we're pretty much done with the bigger fish, but you know, they're fun. You know, definitely make for great conversation.
Yeah.
It's unfortunately made for a lot of bragging by people that just started fishing. All of a sudden, you know, they know it all because they got a 200-pound fish. And I'm sorry to say it, but, you know, you talk to the guys who've been fishing for 40 years, that's you know, how it is. It's not about calico fishing. It's not about a real fishery here, you know. You go bass fishing, go rock cut fishing in the shallows. We go fish the islands for, you know, sea bass, yellowtail, and the albacore that comes by, you know. If you just started fishing and you came into this bluefin craze, good for you, great. It's been awesome. Don't get me wrong. Start learning how to cast a small anchovy, a small bait. You know, start learning how to use that plastic. And so if you're new at this is the way it is. It's a cycle. We're gonna go back to, you know, how it used to be. Half-day boats going for barracuda, sand bass and barracuda locally. You know, fishing the islands. And listen, you get 6 to 10 yellowtail on an overnight trip. That used to be a great trip. We did not have, you know, all these high counts all the time. Yeah. You know, I mean, up there, salmon fishing. I've seen some limits, but the
last 2 years have been good. Before that, it wasn't that great because I wasn't even thinking about fishing for them.
It's slim pickings.
Yeah.
It's called fishing at the end of the day, you know.
It's fishing.
So,
they ain't catching all the time.
Yep. Yeah. So enjoy the bluefin fishery while it's still here. It's going to cycle. We're going to get back to regular fishing. We used to fish 12, 15, 20-pound line, and, you know, 25 used to be like max, and 40, that's like, you're fishing really heavy now. Now we're fishing 100, you know. And we have those rods, you know, we make them because we need them. But this is a lot more fun at the end of the day. There's more volume of it. You know, you go on a trip for bluefin, it's great. One guy hooks onto a 100, 150, 200-pound bluefin, and you're fighting it. He's fighting it for 4 or 5 hours while everyone else is watching. You tell me if that's fun. Last time I went on a trip like that, that was not fun. Most people were pretty upset. So if you're gonna go fish a bluefin, come prepared. Do not bring anything lighter than 50. Captains tell you that. 50, 60, 100, you know. Come ready for that. But also bring your 20, your 30, and your 40. Because when that bluefin is not found, guess what you're fishing for? Fishing for that kill patty yellowtail, you know. You might even go rock fishing. And so you want to have fun with that. Bro,
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Looking forward to what we do up north.
Yeah.
And, you know, getting your feedback. Kevin?
Videos to come. Videos to come.
Right on. Again, guys, thanks for logging on. We'll put this up, and we'll be doing more of this. Talk to you soon.